Ooh. You didn't see that. Hi friends, thanks for stopping by. Today I want to talk about Epic the Musical. I'm late to the game, I know, shut up. But I'm going to listen to the entirety of Epic the Musical. This will be my first time doing it too. But I'm going to bracket rank it, starting by the songs in individual sagas. If you are unsure of what Epic the Musical is, a little bit of background. It's a 9-part series of albums that make one musical, which is a song adaptation of The Odyssey. It was written and produced by Jorge Rivera Herranz. I really hope I'm saying that right.
My name is Jorge Miguel Rivera Herranz,
who also sings the part of Odysseus, amongst other roles. It was slowly released for 2 years, being completed in December 2024. Like I said, I'm late to the party. It's not a stage musical. It's strictly an album musical. My qualifications: I'm a theater brat, I really like music, and I like The Odyssey. This spine has been broken a few times and I'm so sorry for it. Again, full disclosure, I have heard maybe 2 songs from the entire musical before I did this. Regardless, every song is going to get a fair chance. So let's start with the very first saga, which is the Troy saga. It's 5 songs, the end of the Trojan War into the first leg of the journey. Ultimately, it was the calm before the shitstorm. So I have to say, from this particular saga, the best song was Just a Man. It was somber as fuck, and I really like it. I also really enjoyed Open Arms, which seems to be a popular one, and Full Speed Ahead. This is basically what I'm going to do for each saga, just very brief. We don't need to get too deep into it. After the Troy saga is the Cyclops saga. It's 4 songs, obviously the Cyclops story, which is probably the most famous of any story in the Odyssey. This saga itself, it's not a saga I would go back to be honest. And I didn't really have this song was definitely the best of the 4 of them. But I ended up giving it to Remember Them. It seemed to make the most sense. It was also musically well done and kind of lifted the spirit a little bit. Third leg of the journey, the Ocean saga. 4 songs, getting the winds from Aeolus, Poseidon revealing himself and vowing vengeance for Polyphemus. Yeah, Odysseus definitely fucked up. So for this one, I'm definitely going to give it to Keep Your Friends Close. This song ended up just becoming a favorite of mine in the entire musical, not just in the saga. It's fun, which is helpful in a musical like this. I also just really enjoyed the person who played Aeolus. Aeolus is a god of wind, but it was played by a woman, I believe, which I thought was actually very good. I really liked that. It worked better for the song, that's for sure. And it was just the really happy peppy into the really dramatic keep the bag closed. Oh my gosh, you opened the bag and now we're screwed. I also really enjoyed the song Luck Runs Out. The 4th saga, the Circe saga. It's 4 songs. It's the Circe story, essentially, with it ending in her leading them to the underworld. This, I wrote in my notes, this was a good saga. So while Puppeteer was great and Circe's songs were really good, I had to give the best song to Wouldn't You Like, which is one of Hermes' songs. I think his name is Troy, the one who played Hermes. He really gave a lot of character to his songs, and that's probably one of the reasons it was the best in the saga. It was also just, in general, a good song. This was probably a more humorous saga compared to the rest. Next saga. We're in the middle of it now. It's the Underworld saga. It's 3 songs, going into the underworld to talk to the prophet and leaving Ruthless. It is the shortest saga, 3 songs compared to 4 or 5. To be honest, this saga was not as dark as I was expecting it to be in terms of tone. Not material, that's for sure. That was sad. But in terms of tone, yeah, I was definitely expecting it to be a little bit more dark. Just deep, dank, and dreary. The best song from it is Underworld. It has everything you could possibly need for the story. The song with the prophet was necessary. The song about becoming a monster, also necessary. But the Underworld song really just kept the story going as it needed to go. That's what I believe, at least. Also, this marks the end of Act 1. So yeah, we're definitely halfway through now. Okay, we're moving on. The start of Act 2 comes the Thunder Saga. It's 5 songs. Sirens, sacrificing men to Scylla, a tiny mutiny that lasted like 2 bars, and sacrificing the rest of his men to Zeus. Odysseus is not a good guy. I thought this saga was maybe, especially some of the songs, a little too Lin-Manuel Miranda. Not saying that his stuff is bad. He definitely has a very steady tone that carries into all of his music so that you know almost immediately if it's a Lin-Manuel Miranda song. That's it. And what I'm saying is that it's got that same kind of tone that makes some of the songs sound like they were done by Lin-Manuel Miranda. To be honest, if Different Beast didn't start the way that it did, it probably would have been the top dog. But because it started the way it did, it got bumped down. And the best song of the Thunder Saga has to be a Thunderbringer. It's the mix of the lightning and Luke's voice that just really hits home that this is Zeus and you are fucked. Okay. Next saga, saga number 7, is the Wisdom Saga. Wisdom. Athena's coming back. What's happening in Ithaca? Odysseus trapped on the island of... Trapped on the island with Calypso for years, and Athena convincing Olympus to free him. It was kind of nice to actually have Penelope have a song. Finally. She finally is here. She's always just been in the background, which has been great for other songs. It's been necessary. It's really hitting home that he just wants to go back to his family. So saying that she shouldn't be in the first few songs that she is in, not saying that at all. But I'm happy that we finally got her for actual songs. With that said, Penelope's song is not top. It was legendary until it was ruined by the legendary. The rest of the song is so good. That part was not needed. I'm giving the best song of the Wisdom Saga to Love in Paradise. It's fun and sad and really drives home who Calypso is. I do also want to shout out the Olympus games just because they're funny. Alright, next to last, we've got the Vengeance Saga. 5 songs, leaving the island that Calypso is on. Almost there until he's encountered by Poseidon. Odysseus fights back and ultimately tortures Poseidon. This was a good saga. It was dramatic. I did enjoy Not Sorry for Loving You and Dangerous. Those 2 were great. Ultimately, the best song is probably 600 Strike, but not the whole thing. That song's just like borderline traumatic. One thing I'm curious about though, and I need to reread the Odyssey. How did Odysseus get Poseidon's trident so that he was able to torture him? That doesn't seem like something Poseidon would just put down freely. I really need to reread the Odyssey. Moving on, we are at the last saga, the Ithaca Saga. 5 songs. Penelope sets a challenge to her suitors, the bow, and the axes. Odysseus kills says suitors, and he's home. The end. So, I had some thoughts about this one. Ultimately, I gave the best song of the saga to I Can't Help But Wonder. That song between father and son was just pretty powerful, and it was very good. The voices just really came together well. A contender to that was Would You Fall in Love with Me Again? That was just cute. It was also, a little bit sad because he went through 10 years, 20 years actually, of just bullshit. And he's finally home and he's just not the same person. Would you be? And I have to put a note on Hold 'Em Down. It's a bop. And I hate that. I hate that it's a bop. That is a traumatizing song. Okie dokie. So now that we've gone through the entire saga, we've been through 9 of them. Now that we've been through the entire musical, let's put all of the best songs here. This is in order of the sagas. So this is how we're going to start the brackets. There's 9. It's not going to be an even bracket. Starting with Just a Man and Remember Them, I already said the Cyclops saga wasn't that good, so I have to automatically give it to Just a Man. It's also just a better song. Next was Keep Your Friends Close versus Wouldn't You Like. Hermes, that was such a good song, but I'm going to give it to Keep Your Friends Close. I just really, really enjoyed it. There's a lot of reasons to it. It's fun, it's bouncy, and it's got the duality that I tend to like. Underworld versus Thunderbringer. I'm definitely gonna have to give it to Thunderbringer. It's a lot stronger. And again, Underworld wasn't dark enough. All right, Love in Paradise versus 600 Strike. I'm gonna give that to Love in Paradise because ultimately, even though 600 Strike was the best of the saga, I didn't like the whole song. I shouldn't say like. The whole song wasn't the best, whereas Love in Paradise, the whole song was the best. And then I Can't Help But Wonder just swings through because it doesn't have anybody to contend against. All right, so we are down to 5. Again, this is not an even bracket. So instead of doing it in order, otherwise, I Can't Help But Wonder would just swing through. We're going to go based on tone. So we're going to put Just a Man and I Can't Help But Wonder against each other because they're both a little bit more somber and slow. And out of those two, I have to give it to Just a Man. It's just a very, very good song. And then we have Keep Your Friends Close and Love in Paradise, which are both kind of fun songs with a female voice. And again, I have to give it to Keep Your Friends Close. Ultimately, it's just the duality of it. Although Love in Paradise does have that duality between her trying to convince him to stay on the island and being very lovey, with him wanting to just, at the end, it's like, I'm tortured. I understand that. But I think what it is, it's just overall stronger with Keep Your Friends Close. And then Thunderbringer is going to just go on through because it doesn't really have the same kind of tone as anybody else. So now we're stuck with 3. We've got Just a Man, Keep Your Friends Close, and Thunderbringer. Ultimately, which of these is the best song in Epic the Musical? When it came to these last 3 songs, it was very hard to kind of choose one over the others. They all have a very different tone. Just a Man is sad, slow, somber. Keep Your Friends Close is fun and bouncy. And Thunderbringer is strong and almost angry. So you have just very different emotions with each one. My personal favorite of these 3 is Keep Your Friends Close. I found myself just wanting to listen to it over and over again. However, I could find myself singing Just a Man at an audition. But I have to say, Thunderbringer is the best overall song in Epic the Musical. Luke Holt's voice just really fit well with the power that the song was supposed to convey and the power that Zeus is supposed to portray. This song just also has really good duality to it. You'll find that I really like duality in songs, especially musical songs, and especially musical songs about very deep stories. So, what do I mean by duality? The strength of Luke's voice compared to Jorge's softer tones as Odysseus, the thunderclaps that start the song versus the piano that ends it. 2 rulers, one showing their absolute power and one showing their absolute desperation. Epic the Musical was just an amazing project, and Jorge did an absolute stellar job. Is it Jorge? I've heard people say George.
Jorge Miguel Rivera Errans.
It's spelled like Jorge, so I want to be respectful. Jorge or George, good job. He's not gonna watch this. The point is, this was a very amazing project to complete, to do, to write, to even sing, because again, he plays Odysseus in the album. So from a theater nerd, music lover, Odyssey lover, just I definitely give this some thumbs up. I just wanted to convey my feelings about Epic the Musical because I've been avoiding it for so long and I don't know why. And now I can officially say I've listened to the whole thing, so now people can stop bothering me. Alright, my friends, thank you for joining me today, and I will see you next time. Bye! Editing me used one of the beginning moments when I just couldn't speak during filming as some of the end credits. I'm going to bed.